TAF Africa Global is the first and biggest private real estate developer in the Gambia with a presence in 7 other African countries. We are launching the development of the first smart and most modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called TAF Twins, located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive from Banjul. TAF Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 meters square to over 1,000 meters square, 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24-hour electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shops. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333.
Welcome to the TAF Hub. This is a brand new show brought to you by TAF Africa Global to educate you on real estate business and all the information you need to know about real estate.
After 45 years of construction and real estate development in 8 African countries, it is time to share my experience, and it can only be done in the TAF Hub. We will be inviting experts who will give you facts and the right regulations on real estate development.
Join us every week on our social media platforms for an exciting show.
You can also watch us on JRTS TV every Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
Hello viewers, welcome to the TAF Hub. It is another exciting week and another exciting show. My name is Maria Makuli and I am your host, but I am also here with another very important host that I'll be doing this interesting show with. Welcome, Mr. Mustafa Njai. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Mariama, and welcome viewers and again to another episode of TAF Hub, where we're here to enlighten and bring about awareness on real estate and its development in the Gambia and around the sub-region.
As he said, this is going to be a very exciting show to educate you on everything that you need to know about real estate. Now, last week we had a very interesting talk on the history of real estate and of course how TAF Africa Global came about. Now today we will go straight on to talk about real estate. I mean, when people hear about real estate, what does it really mean?
Well, real estate actually it's about property development, land, and everything that goes around it. A clear definition of real estate, you know, is in the class of real property. You know, it's about property. Real estate is about property. And that includes land and anything permanently attached to it, whether it's natural or man-made. That's what real estate is.
Interesting. Well, I do understand we have different types of real estates as well. Now, what are they?
Well, for me, I think I will classify them into probably 5 different types of real estate.
Yes.
Residential, which we all know. Now we live in houses, so living in houses, that's residential properties. And for its purpose, you can either own it or rent it or whatever. But that's residential. So that's one, a residential property. And in this, for example, it includes single family homes, condos, condominiums, you know, cooperatives, duplexes, townhouses, multifamilies, and you know, different types.
Yeah.
Actually, the name on residential development and properties depends also where you are coming from.
That's right.
For example, in the US, there are condominiums which is called condos, or
I was wondering what condos are.
Yeah, condominiums.
Yes.
It means condominiums or townhouses. But if you go to England, townhouses are called terraces.
Yes.
Again, let's localize it. What are residential real estate in this country? Here, they will tell you that they want, what would they call it? Things that they would want here. 2-story building.
Yes.
They say 2-story building.
Self-contained.
Self-contained.
Yes.
You know, so you know, it all depends on where you're coming from. But let's not even forget the room and parlor. In local language, Cabinet Asal.
Cabinet Asal.
If you go to Nigeria, there's what they call face me, I face you.
Ah.
You know what face me and face you means? No. It means the row of houses, single houses that you do. You know, obviously in some areas you have this, single houses that are built, in one compound.
It's
and they are rented out.
It's different from the line houses.
Like a barrack, what they call barrack, line house.
Yes.
A line house in Nigeria is called face me, I face you.
Nice name.
Yeah, so this is residential.
Yes.
So, but I think that residential real estate can be classified generally for residential purposes, and the name will vary from one country to the other. So you have also commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is, for example, hotels, shops, stores, something that is commercial, offices. Yeah. That's commercial, where it is mainly done for commercial purposes, where you build it so you don't only live with it or own it, but it brings about a business, so it is commercial. And any property used exclusively for business purposes, such as apartment complexes, people do this, gas stations, petrol stations, stores, hospitals, hotels, offices, restaurants, shopping centers, and it's very common today, theaters and so on. Yeah. So these are all commercial real estate. Then industrial, there's also industrial real estate. And the industrial, for example, stores for manufacturing, warehousing, these are all industrial. For research development, factories, power plants, these are all real estate. And then land. Some people only trade in land, so that's also real estate. For example, you will hear around here that people can sell you only land. They go around, just peg the land and sell it to you. And this includes undeveloped property, whether it's vacant or agricultural, meaning farms, orchards, here we don't have ranches. But generally, any land that is just being sold like that, it's also a type of real estate. Right, yeah. Finally, special purposes. For example, at times you have a special purpose that you will use a property for, or a particular real estate property. And this is used for public, such as cemeteries, government buildings, libraries, parks, where it's for public, school and worship places. They're still within real estate. Yeah. So just to summarize, these are the different 5 categories of real estate. What is most common in the Gambia? Now, I think what is most common is residential. Now, and within residential, we have land, and nowadays we have developed properties where people buy in turnkey. Turnkey meaning that you come to people like TAF Africa Global and you say, I want a house that is 100% finished. So these are the 2 different types that are most common. You can either buy a finished house, or they call it compound, or you buy sites and services. Sites and services meaning that a land is all developed, services are all there, and then you buy the land and you can build for yourself. But within even buying land, in practice, what we see today in the country is that some people are going to the local authorities, meaning the alcalos or the chief or family owners of land. They will just buy the land, get all the papers at that level. The next thing they will do is start pegging it out and sell the land unserviced. So it is not serviced. They don't bring in water, they don't bring in electricity. But because there's demand, people just buy the land because that's more affordable. Now, some players within the industry, like ourselves at TAF Africa Global, when we buy service land, we bring in the roads, all done properly. We bring in electricity, water supply, and even these days, solar street lights. Yeah. So all these services that are needed to live within your residency, you will not have to bring it yourself. So for us, we have 2 types, meaning TAF Africa Global, we do 2 types of development. One is on residential. Yeah. One is finished property, the other is service land.
So with TAF Africa Global, what are some of the services that you really provide?
Well, what we do on residential is that apart from just selling you the house for different purposes, one is that you can buy it and use it for yourself, live there or your family. Some others buy for investment. So when you buy for investment, they will turn up giving us the property again for us to manage it. So we do property management also, rentals and property management. But apart from these residential that we do within that sector, we also do commercial, because recently you have seen that here within the Madiba Mall, we have offices. And then we also have commercial space on the ground floor, where there are there are shops and there's a supermarket that's about to come. So we're combining two here. We have offices on the first and the ground on the second floor, and then we have commercial space, which is mainly for shops on the ground floor. Most recently, we have launched the TAF Twins. The TAF Twins is commercial and offices. The ground floor is reserved for supermarkets, restaurants, coffee shops, banks, whilst the other 5 floors are reserved for offices. So that's a commercial real estate. We also have industrial real estate. The GAITAF project. The GAITAF project is a composition of 4 different elements within one development. We have their commercial. The front bit of it is all commercial. Then we have warehousing there, which I mentioned. And then we have industrial. And then we have an SME park there. An SME park will be mainly a combination, it's a special purpose vehicle. So that's special purpose where you're going to have a combination of activities within the SME park. And the reason why we're doing this, there will be about 510 units targeted for the SMEs, the small, medium enterprises. You know, and even we can add the macro enterprises. So these are affordable units of about 300 square meters of land, plus a small warehouse or office of 100 square meters, which will be given out as mortgages to players, those who are within the SME sector or bracket, that will come in there and have access to their own property.
Amazing.
Yeah, so this is what TAF Africa Global does, you know, as far as Gambia is concerned.
Innovation and growth, that is all you do with TAF Africa Global. Every time you see them develop new ideas and also make it easy for people who are always scouting for office spaces or spaces where they can rent to use for their businesses. Well, this will lead us to our first commercial break. When we return, the TAF Hub continues. Stay tuned.
Imagine owning a home or a service plot, enjoying the sunrise and sunset from a beautiful garden, morning hugs and beautiful moments with your loved ones, the never-ending stories, beautiful memories that will last a lifetime, making and sharing great moments with family and friends. You can turn this into a reality. All you need is a TAF home.
Welcome back to the TAF Hub. You are watching us live, and my name is Mariama Kuli, and I'm here with Mr. Mustafa Njai. Well, we've talked a lot about, you know, what real estate is and the different types of real estate that we have before going on commercial. And now we just want to go straight on to talk about the actors, the key actors in real estate.
So the actors, most important of them is the government. Because the government is the one who regulates.
Yes.
So a regulator is very important. So, and within the government, there are different players that are very important within the real estate sector. So as a regulator, as watchdog, you know, on land, prices, you know, government plays a very important role. Otherwise, there'll be disputes as what we are saying now. Also in terms of financing, because quite often I do hear people saying that they're issuing out mortgages. I mean, and no developer, be it TAF Africa or anybody else, cannot issue out a mortgage. A mortgage can only be issued by a finance institution. So that should be very clear, that it is wrong for any player within the real estate industry to say, oh, I can give you a mortgage. A mortgage mainly, it's been given by banks, a mortgage bank, a mortgage institution. For example, in the Gambia, you have the home finance. Yes. Home finance can give you a mortgage. A bank can give you a mortgage. So I think this should be clearly defined. And the regulator comes in to regulate all this. And I think in giving out a license for giving out mortgages should be regulated by the central bank. Because the central bank is the regulator on anything to do with finances. Then planning. So within the government, there is the Ministry of Lands or local government. Under the ministry, there are different departments. For example, the Department of Physical Planning. Yes. They are responsible for planning. And in real estate, and I am saying from experience and what is done in other countries, planning should be done by the Department of Physical Planning. And when proper planning are done, it will mean that you just cannot mix everything together. For example, you cannot have maybe a nightclub next to a school. Yes. You know, I mean, these are all being done by planners. You cannot do an estate without having public facilities. These are being done by planners. So a key player, a key actor within government is the Ministry of Local Government and Lands. And within the Ministry of Local Government and Lands, the Department of Physical Planning plays a key role in real estate development. We will go further on this, and we can also invite the experts to come on this. I mean, planners within, I mean, mainly if we're talking about the urban area, from here into maybe around Brikama area, urban planners are key, because remember that probably 60% of our population live within the urban area. Yes. So planning is very, very, very important. Otherwise, as we can see today on traffic, you know, a few years back, 5 years ago or so, you can drive from here to Banjul and within 15 minutes you are there. Today, some people, it's taking them about 2 hours. Probably it's poor planning. Water supply. The demand on water supply is so high. You know, so many other things. Some people complain of noise around their area. It's poor planning. Or
having nightclubs in the middle of the town.
So these are all, and all this within this show, within this program, we will bring in the experts to speak on this. Surveyors. What surveyors do, they go out there and survey the land, and at times even pick on some objects that should not be lost. I mean, you can have a tree, forest tree, for example, will come into here. You don't want to cut every tree that you see, a big cotton tree that takes probably about 100 years to grow. Why should you just cut it down? So surveyors will come and survey the land. When they survey the land, on the land survey, the demographic of the land will be identified and will be placed properly. So these are all important things, and surveyors are key players within the government. Then obviously vendors, we have people who are vendors, meaning agents. And when you come to classify the different roles that people play, some people will call themselves that, oh, I'm in real estate. You're in real estate. What are you doing in real estate? Yes. Some people are just agents. All they do is have an office. So you bring your land to them and they sell it. But if it is properly regulated, those people can only sell and buy and nothing more. But they get trained. There are courses that you can attend to tell you what you need to do. So it is important. And then the buyer of the land is also a player in this. Now I will just want to add that I want to now classify 3 different players within the actors. And this is the developer. Who is a developer? A developer, in short, is a TAF Africa Global.
Yeah.
So what does a developer do? Well, what does he do? A developer goes there, gets the land. So you have the means to go and buy the land. You buy the land. Number two, you plan out the land. You have the capacity to design, to plan, or to pay for the services. Then you also should have the capacity to build. So you should have a contracting team within your team,
Yes.
or you should hire contractors who are qualified to build for you. And then you should also have the capacity to market. Financing capacity also should be there. So the developer is the all-rounder. Somebody who can do everything privately within the real estate sector. And then lawyers are very key, real estate lawyers. And the lawyers are the one who will prepare everything that is legal. Now, in the Gambia, we have baristas and solicitors. In other countries, it's different. But lawyers are very important in real estate transactions. So later we'll bring them on board, but in regulating, what you will do normally in other countries is that before you buy any property, you will do a search. And that is missing in this country, and that is why you've been having a lot of problems with land issues. And I would like to take this opportunity, those who are watching, that before you buy any property, no matter how cheap or attractive it is, please hire the services of a lawyer. Today in this country, I think we have a lot of lawyers, and they're affordable. There are young graduates, and a simple search on a property will help you, avoiding quite a number of common problems. Because what you do when you engage a lawyer, the first thing that the lawyer should do should ask the seller, be it a real estate developer or an agent, of the title. The land that you are selling or the property that you are selling, where it is situated, can you bring us the title to show that you own it? So the lawyer will go through the process of doing a search, what they call a search. Because if there's anything, if it is encumbered, it will be registered somewhere. You will see it through the registry or whatever, of the Attorney General's chambers. So a good lawyer will go there, do a search, find out everything about the property. Not only can it be encumbered by some other means, but it can be also used as a collateral within a bank. Maybe the person who's selling you this property has used this land or this property for a loan in a bank, meaning at the point in time, he or she doesn't own that property because it has been used for some other purposes. So what will happen in the event that he or she defaults, or not only he or she, but even the company, if the company defaults, the person or the institution that has right to it is the bank. And quite a number of things have happened here. So when you do a proper search, if it is used as a collateral in a bank, your lawyer will come back to you and say, look, you cannot buy this now because legally this guy doesn't own this property. It has been used as a collateral in a bank. Payments, I would even advise that your payments should go through your lawyer. People should stop going to an office, somebody who calls himself a real estate agent, takes you to the parcel of land, and then asks you to pay money and just gives you a receipt. That is not enough. We have seen quite a number of individuals or group of people who's been coming together, protesting that, look, we've been duped by this real estate agent or company. There's nothing you can do. But if you go through a lawyer, that will not happen. So lawyers are very, 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 very important in these transactions. Not only in real estate transaction, but any transaction that you want to do, please engage a lawyer.
That is very important because looking at the Gambia and the number of cases we have in the courts in regards to land issues or real estate issues is becoming alarming. It's just too much. And then you did mention something that is very important in, dealing with lawyers and how they can guide you through buying a land that is genuine and that is legal as well. Now we see people buying lands from areas that are not meant to be sold or meant to be even used. How does real estate owners or some real estate owners have access to those lands when they should not be even accessible?
The Gambia, it's the 8th most dense country in Africa. The most dense in Africa is Mauritius. And you have people like Rwanda, that is why you have land disputes. And land disputes can actually go into civil strifes. That's why it must be managed. And those are some of the things that we have been seeing. If you look around recently, we have been having some land disputes. And in some of them, we even had some fatalities. So it must be managed. So for me, the reason why you have all these issues, it is that we don't have too much land. And land is becoming very valuable. Number of people, our population is increasing. Population increase in Africa in general is between 2 and 3%. Meaning, if you just look ahead, just think about Gambia, for example, now at about 2.1, 2.2 million people. In the next 30 years or so, the population is going to be about 4.5 million in this small parcel of land. And that is why it is important that regulations must be in place, and it can be done by the regulator. Now, because of the demand, that is why we have been seeing the disputes. But on this program, we are going to be inviting experts. It is not about our own individual opinion. We want to bring the experts, the lawyers, the regulators, government, the town planners, to come on this program and enlighten the people so we avoid the crisis that happen now very often.
Which is very important. We will definitely be talking to the experts and hear their opinion and guide us through in the right parts when it comes to you safely owning your own property in the Gambia. If you have any questions, you can send them on our social media platforms. You will see the links on the screens right now, and send us your questions and we will answer them on our upcoming episodes. Mr. Mustafa Njai, time to say goodbye.
Thank you so much, and we hope that in the next episodes we'll bring you experts who will discuss issues in detail that affect us in the real estate industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Till we come your way on our next episode.
The development of our Dalaba estate commenced in November 2018. Today, Dalaba comprises of over 350 affordable and quality homes with fenced and gated service plots. The estate boasts features such as surfaced dressed roads with interlocking bricks, solar street lights, and beautiful landscaping to be further complemented with 1,500 fruit trees. With accessibility to water and electricity, fenced service plot owners continue to develop their properties within a period of 24 months. TAF Africa Global has transformed a 20-hectare undeveloped plot into a fully functional residential estate, housing families comfortably. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global, our focus is Africa. For information on any of our current and future developments, please call +220 776 2333 or 376 2333.